All right, let's sit down and really talk about everything we know so far about Genshin Impact version 6.1, also known as Luna 2. This patch is shaping up to be one of the most talked about updates we've seen in a while, and honestly, there's a ton to unpack. We've got release timing, banners, story updates, rewards, new systems, even a look at where the game is heading next. Now, like always, I'll make sure to separate what's actually confirmed from what's just rumor or leaks. If you're newer to Genshin, don't worry. I'll also explain why certain details matter. And if you're a veteran player who's been here since the early days, hopefully this breakdown gives you some fresh angles to think about. Save up to 25% on the current banners at lootbar.gg, especially for the Nod Cry release. Lootbar is offering the all-in-one pack and the 6,480 pack for only $69 compared to $100 in-game. That's a $31 saving. I just entered my UID and selected my server. In less than 5 minutes, the gems appeared in my account. As you can see, I received double the amount for my first purchase, just like with in-game top-ups. And remember, the double bonus for your first purchase has been reset in 6.0. Beyond Genshin, you can also top up in Honkai Star Rail. Lootbar has over 100,000 satisfied users and also supports PS5 and Xbox top-ups. New users can get an extra 10% discount, while returning users get 5%. The link is in the description. Let's start with the basics. When is this patch dropping? Hoyoverse has been super consistent with their 42-day patch cycle, and everything we've seen points to October 22nd, 2025 as the release date for version 6.1. But before that, we'll get the special program livestream on Friday, October 10th. That livestream is where we'll get our first official look at the patch. Trailers, event reveals, system changes, all of it. And of course, that's when they drop the 3 redeem codes worth a total of 300 Primogems. Just remember, those codes usually expire within 24 hours, so if you want those free wishes, be ready. I'll have them posted right away so you don't miss out. One interesting detail here is the naming system. Right now, we're in this whole Luna numbering phase, but that's only going to last until the Nod Cry arc wraps up. After that, when we move into Snezhnaya, Hoyoverse is going back to the normal version numbering, and that's a bigger deal than it sounds. It tells us that the Luna experiment has a set end date, and it lines up with the narrative arc they're trying to tie off before we jump into the next region. All right, I know this is what most of you are really here for, the banners. According to leaks from HomDG who's had a solid track record in the past, here's what we're looking at. First half of 6.1. We're getting Nefer, a brand new 5-star Dendro Catalyst character, debuting alongside a rerun of Furina. Second half, reruns for Arlecchino and Zhongli, and the rumored 4-star lineup, Yunjin, Rosaria, and Lynette. If this is true, that's a stacked banner lineup. Not just for new players who might be missing Furina or Zhongli, but also for longtime veterans who've been waiting to see how Nefer shakes things up. Now, here's why Nefer is such a big deal. Her synergy with Lawama from version 6.0 is already drawing comparisons to the Furina plus Nouvelette duo we saw back in Fontaine, one of the most powerful pairings in the game's history. If Nefer lives up to the hype, she could be meta-defining. But banners are just one piece of the puzzle. Let's talk about the story content, because version 6.1 looks like it's going to be one of the most lore-heavy patches we've had in years. The Archon quest here continues the main narrative and is expected to feature Albedo, Arlecchino, Varka, Dainsleif, and even Durin all in one storyline. Think about that lineup for a second. You've got Albedo and Varka tying us back to Mondstadt, Arlecchino bringing in Fatui Harbinger intrigue, Dainsleif and Durin pulling us back into the unresolved mysteries of Khaenri'ah and Dragon lore. This could be the first time we actually see in-game models for both Durin and Varka, which is massive for longtime fans. It feels a lot like how Hoyoverse teased Arlecchino slowly before finally giving her a proper debut. On top of that, we've got a brand new boss, the Stygian Onslaught, which drops Ascension materials for Nefer. And the main event is Sumeru-based, festival style, and it comes with a free copy of Collei. Now this is the 3rd time Hoyoverse has given Collei away for free. For new players, that's awesome. It's an easy way to grab a Dendro bow character. But for veterans who already have her maxed at C6, it's basically just another wish. I get why some people feel underwhelmed, especially since other festivals like Lantern Rite sometimes let you choose a free 4-star or give more unique rewards. Something worth pointing out, there's no new map expansion in 6.1. That's important because map expansions usually mean a ton of Primogems, and when they skip one, it usually signals that Hoyoverse's development focus is elsewhere. And in this case, all signs point to the headline feature, User-Generated Content, UGC. This is where things get experimental. Hoyoverse is basically building a creative platform inside Genshin, something almost like Roblox or Fortnite Creative. Here's what that means. Players can create custom maps, share them with others, play through community-made content. There's even a unique playable character just for this mode, one that has access to all elements, comes with a skill, a burst, and farming materials. That's wild because it completely breaks the usual rules of Genshin, but it doesn't stop there. This UGC system is packed with features, free outfits and paid skins, cosmetic gacha banners, multiplayer hubs that support up to 20 players, built-in voice chat, a dedicated friend system with medals and gifting, its own stamina system, capped at 300, and a 30-level battle pass. Down the line, Hoyoverse even plans to add creator monetization, likely around Luna 4. Basically, it's a full-on game within the game. And honestly, it's ambitious. On the one hand, this could give Genshin a whole new sandbox dimension that keeps people playing for years. On the other hand, it could alienate players who just want the classic exploration and combat. It's definitely going to be divisive. Let's talk rewards because this is always a hot topic. Like I said earlier, Calais is free again. Beyond that, here's what else we're getting. Imaginarium Theater will hand out cosmetic rewards like new photo poses for Hu Tao, Beidou, Rosaria, and Kuki Shinobu. The Serenity Pot gets a fun new decoration, a little Chibi Faruzan riding a mushroom mob. TCG fans get new character cards for Inefa and Varesa. And of course, a lot of rewards are tied to the new UGC mode. Free outfits, paid skins, gacha cosmetics. But here's the downside. Compared to past patches, the rewards do feel weaker. There's no new free 4-star for veterans, no new map to farm a huge pile of Primogems. And that makes a big difference for wish planning. So let's break it down. If you're wondering how many Primogems we're actually looking at in 6.1, here are the numbers. Archon Quest plus Nefer's Story. Quest, 650 Primogems plus 2 Intertwined Fates. Maintenance, 600 Primogems. Livestream, 300 Primogems. Main event, around 950 Primogems. 3 smaller events, 420, 420, and 450 Primogems each. Daily commissions, 2,520 Primogems. Shop Reset, 10 Intertwined Fates. Imaginarium Theater, 880 to 2,000 Primogems, depending on how far you push it. Spiral Abyss, 600 to 800 Primogems. Test runs, 80 Primogems. Add all of that up, and a normal clear of the patch will net you about 9,790 Primogems, or around 61 wishes. If you're a completionist who does absolutely everything, you can stretch that up to about 11,200 Primogems, which is around 70 wishes. For the first half of the patch alone, that's roughly 5,930 Primogems, or 37 to 40 wishes. Now here's the catch. These totals are a bit lower than average. And the reason is exactly what we talked about earlier. No new map expansion. This is very similar to what we saw back in Fontaine's 5.1. Still a perfectly playable patch, but noticeably lighter on resources. On the weapons side, Nefer's signature catalyst is looking like her clear best in slot, which isn't surprising. But the Arlecchino plus Zhongli weapon banner? Yeah, that one looks like a trap. It pairs one excellent weapon with one very niche option, which makes it a risky pull unless you specifically want one of them. It's the classic move from Hoyoverse. Balance out one really strong pick with one less appealing one. There are also some smaller but pretty interesting additions this patch. Columbina gets teased again with hints about her eyes and role. She's expected to be released in 6.3. Lunar Bloom gets updated, deepening the reaction system we first saw in Nodcry. Standard stuff like new weapons and name cards are included too. But the real standout here is how much groundwork is being laid for future content. And speaking of the future, 6.1 gives us some big teases for upcoming characters. Durin is lined up for 6.2 as a Pyro sub-DPS with support mechanics. Columbina herself is expected as a 5-star Harbinger in 6.3, possibly alongside the White Horse Adeptus, a new character tied to lunar lore and even described as the Daughter of Time. Varka may finally be playable in 6.4 as an Anemo Claymore user. Some say he could even get added to the standard banner if he's designed as a physical DPS. New Valette is expected to get a new skin around Lantern Rite in 6.3. And looking further ahead, Sandrone is rumored to arrive around 6.7. There are also whispers about model updates and buffs for older characters, though nothing concrete yet. So, when you put all of this together, version 6.1 really feels like a mixed bag. On the positive side, the Archon quest could be a landmark moment, pulling together story threads and characters fans have been waiting years to see. The banners are strong, and Nefer might end up being a meta shifter. On the downside, rewards are weaker, there's no map expansion, and a lot of development is clearly going into this new UGC mode, which is a gamble. If you're mainly here for lore, this patch might be one of the most memorable since it finally pulls Durin, Varka, and Columbina into focus. But if you're mainly here for combat and exploration, it might feel a little thin. Personally, I'm cautiously optimistic. I think the UGC system could be a turning point for the game, but it's definitely risky. So now I want to hear from you. What do you think? Are you hyped for Nefer? Or are you more interested in the reruns for Furina and Zhongli? Does the UGC mode sound fun? Or do you think it's just going to distract Hoyoverse from the core Genshin experience? Save up to 25% on current banners at lootbar.gg. Links in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.